Hi guys, I know it's early, it's only 6:12 a.m., but when spirit wants you to do something, you just do it. And it's easier this way because I'm less distracted by comments and I can still get this out there. So I have this weird feeling that I can't get rid of, and I worked at it all day yesterday to try to, make my logic make sense of it. Oh, I'm looking ripe. First thing in the AM. I didn't even get 2 cups of coffee yet. Anyway, so I have this weird feeling that Kylee might be in the cemetery. I don't know. And this did go through my mind when I did the initial reading. When my guides were talking about the cow manure and stuff, because in my head, I was like, well, if they're going to use that for smell, why don't they just put her in the graveyard? And then but my ADHD brought me somewhere else. It brought me to, would the dogs even smell her? Which led to formaldehyde and all different other things. And then I was somewhere else because somebody was messaging me. Anyway, it came back around. I was watching this woman's reading, and I never watch readings. The whole thing is so bizarre. I never watch readings. I watched this lady. I was driving, and I'm so invested. I want to listen. I want to get things done. So, where the hell was I? Definitely too early. Can't believe they got me on here right now. I never watch readings. I said, so I typed in Kylee Monteiro psychic reading or something. This lady, mine was the first one that popped up at the top, which does not always happen. Because I did this yesterday and it did not happen. Mine or hers were not even there. Hers was the one right below it. So I clicked on it and I listened to it, and I like her because her energy's calming. And mine is, let's fucking get him. But anyway, without going into crazy detail, because I like to keep things simple, I clued in a lot of things from her reading, or at least I think I did, and was able to put things together. And part of that conclusion is what if she's in the cemetery, like right near that, God, I need another coffee. I really am so tired. Not tired, I'm sorry, strike that. I'm not tired, I'm just not moving. I actually slept till 5:30 this morning, which is amazing. It's like the second day it's happened. But when I do cases, I'll be up till like midnight sometimes, and that's late for me. But near the gazebo, there's an old cemetery, and her meeting him there at 3 in the morning at one point or something like that makes me think that he's familiar with all that, and it's literally right next door. So I don't know. I don't know. What if are there any of those mausoleum things or the coffins, but I don't know what they're called, but they're stone and you can move the top of it to put things in it. And sometimes they get flooded with water and mud. I don't know. These are thoughts that are going through my head, and I'm going to put everything out there until this girl gets home. Because when I ride out till the wheels fall off. So, that's my new thing. And it makes a lot of sense based on what I feel. Not only that, but it makes searching difficult as well, beyond the dogs, right? Because what are you going to do? Go open up all the graves? Doesn't even make sense. But these are my thoughts. So let me cinch it up a bit, because that first video I made, there's a couple different points I want to point out, because I my logic thinks afterwards like, oh, you should have said it this way. And what I mean is that she may be all in one piece, and there's 3 separate crime scenes. 3 separate places that need to be searched, like the house, the graveyard, and the tower, or something like that. I'm not saying that's it. You'll see how I do things if you haven't seen me before. All right. And I try to be as least descriptive as possible because I think that's helpful. I think the more my filter I put on this, the harder it is for those who are in the know to figure it out. So I give you the pieces, the basics. Not basics. I try to be as least descriptive as possible so I'm not putting my spin on things and not stopping somebody from putting it together properly. But I would not be surprised if she wasn't in the graveyard, in the cemetery, Rehoboth Historic Cemetery, the one where they had the meeting house, that one, or another cemetery. Again, let's back up and take that descriptive off, which is my feeling is that she's at that cemetery, if she's at a cemetery, but there's other cemeteries too. You see my point? But we'll get her home. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? So my point about the multiple crime scenes is, oh, I did say that. Because I was thinking afterwards, I was like, I shouldn't have said it like, but everything comes out like that sometimes. And then I think back about how I might receive it if I was the family or something like that. And I don't want people's minds running all over the place like that. You know? So it could be multiple crime scenes. I detect energetic imprint. I will be drawn to something. Sometimes, depending on what the situation is or where I am, I'm so drawn to it, I can't stop myself. It happened one time in a case, and I was wrong about the guy. I thought the guy was alive. It's very early on. Listen to this. The lady gets a reading from me. It's a Discover Your Abilities reading. Nothing to do with this brother. She calls me for the reading, which is weird because if you know, when I tell you what the situation is, you could have skipped it. You could have said like, "Hey, I got an emergency." She calls me for the reading, and immediately I picked up a nervousness. I said, "Are you all right?" I said, "Were you nervous?" I mean, I already know before they even talk, really, because I can feel it prior to the phone call. Like my heart will be racing, my hands will be like I can just tell by my mannerisms what the phone call or the reading will be like. I still remember the guy's name, David. That was the brother's name. She said, "No, my brother's missing." I said, "What?" I said, "Missing." So let me get, because I haven't had a lot of coffee, so I don't want to make this long because this is really about Kylee, but maybe important to understand how things happen sometimes and how things can be misinterpreted, mistranslated. So, couldn't find the brother. New wife they never met won't answer the phone. No, won't answer the cell phone. Nobody's seen him for 3 days. The cops were on the way to his house. And so was the sister. I tune in and I said, he's in the shed. He's in the shed, he's in the shed, he's in the shed. I couldn't stop saying he was in the shed to the point where after this phone call, and I'll tell you the ending of it, I was in Walmart. Somebody was saying shed, and I almost couldn't stop myself from having to run to them to tell them the story because it bothered me so much, right? I said, he's in the shed, he's in the shed, he's in the shed, he's in the shed. And she's like, I said, it was so bad because Melvin had just died and she's his sister and I lost my brother. So of course that filter's playing through. I literally described the house to a T, and the house, they were like in, not West Virginia, Kentucky, someplace like around there. I explained the house. I said, there's an overhang where you park the car. I said, you go around back. I said, the shed's right there. Apparently, their cellars where they live in the state aren't like our cellars. Like mine has a bulkhead. Well, not this one because I live in a townhouse. But like at my mother's, you go to the bulkhead, you go down cellar. This has like a door. It looks like a shed. So anyway, I thought he was alive. And now after I figured out that he was dead, well, not figured out because she told me, I thought to myself, why didn't I know he was dead? There's no way I knew he was in that friggin' shed. I couldn't stop saying shed. He's in the shed. He's in the shed. Because I wanted to reach through the phone, right? I told her that. I said, don't play with me. I said, if it was my brother, my ass would be in that shed. She's like, well, the cops are here because the wife refused the search. All right, let me flash forward. So anyway, I get off the phone with her while this dude doing the search. But she still has part of her reading to do, right? Because obviously we didn't get the reading done. So she calls for the reading and just nonchalantly, because I've been thinking about it, I'm like, well, what happened with your brother? She's like, oh, he was dead. The wife killed him and stuffed him in the freezer and he was in the shed. But I promise you, the thought of him being dead didn't like fit. It didn't connect with the he's in the shed. And after I thought about it, I'm like, Joanne, how could he be alive 3 days in a shed? Like, why would nobody hear from him? Like, it made sense, but my brain didn't put it together. Well, probably because it was so focused on, he's in the shed. Like, go get him out of the shed. Yeah, that was about money. I called that one too. There was a couple other things I told her that were true. But the biggest one was he was in the shed. And the biggest thing to me, that I was like, how did you not, even logic didn't fit in. Because I was so hyper-focused on it, about the shed, that it did not even occur to me that the dude was dead. And when she told me that, it all clicked, and I'm like, it was so weird. But anyway, that was one of the instances. Oh, and the, what's her name there? Oh, I can see her face. The case I did with the lady with the whack job with the 2 kids and the, oh God, I'm sorry guys. I'm not up and functioning really. I literally just got up at 5:30. I've had 1.1 cups of coffee. And I don't want to get off the beaten path because I do that sometimes, even though it somehow is all relevant. But my point is, I'd like the cemeteries to be checked. I still want that fire tower to be checked. And let's see what happens this week, maybe. And I also get the feeling like I don't want to give certain details that I'm picking up, because I just don't. I don't think it'll... There's certain things I don't want to put out there because I think the police are doing their job. I promise you they are. How about that? Okay? So the fact that you guys aren't hearing anything doesn't mean shit. I know they're doing their job. I can hear people's thoughts too. So I'm not going to get into it. I know they are. So, again, I would not be surprised if they stuck her in a vault or something that moves that could be considered what everybody's picking up about the half water, half on land, half in the water thing. I'm not sure if it fits together just that way, but I wanted to put that out there. So here it is, but I wanted to do it early. I don't know, I get overwhelmed sometimes with comments. It's not you guys, it's the way my brain works. It wants to pay attention to every little thing because it's so thorough and it really does care so much that it wants to make sure it doesn't miss anything. And that's part of my grief and trauma too, from losing somebody to murder. You know, because when something like that happens, you literally think that anything you could have done would have changed the outcome. I don't now, but you hold these things in your bones. There are many times since my brother was murdered and since my dad died, where I'll wake up and it's not because I exercised, not because I had some strenuous activity. My whole body will hurt. I mean, hurt in a way that feels like I carried that shit for a long time. And I said, I'm like, it feels like it's coming out of my bones. Okay? So your body stores that stuff and it remembers. And even if you think that your mind isn't, or your body's not, is not subject to that because your mind, no, that's not how it works. All right? Your cells carry those things. It's just the way it is. It's part of some sort of interface with DNA. But anyway, and it can jump timelines too. And, what do you call it? Lifetimes. But lifetimes, it's a little bit different. Because not every lifetime is a DNA thing. But anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole let's weave strands type thing. But that's that. I think that she might be in the cemetery already. And I'll do more work today. I'll do pendulum work and work with my guides. But when I asked my cards, because I saw this girl do a card reading, and it's funny because people are like, do you do cards? I'm like, I do it so I'm not bored. I developed all this stuff with no tools, no cards, no pendulum, no shit. I raw dogged it. And I was forged in the fire. Like, anyway, what the hell was I saying? Well, I saw her do the cards. I said, you know what? I got tools. Let's try these tools out. Because I love me and Penny are great. That's my pendulum. But I said, I grabbed the psychic tarot and I said, well, can you give me any idea or some clues about where she is? And I got, where we first met. No. First love begins. It was card number 1. It's psychic tarot is based on the tarot, but it's also, it's like an oracle tarot, a hybrid, and I love it. When I first got it, I thought it was a bitchy deck, kind of like they think about me. I'm like, oh, fuck this deck. Shit's a lot of work. Now I absolutely fucking love it. I use it for a lot of stuff. I use it for my subscribers, anything. But anyway, the first card was a 1. It was a green card. I think those are emotion cards, because I don't get into the detail of it. I kind of just see how it feels when I use it. The second card was spiritual union. I don't do a lot of research unless I have a purpose, right? Unless my guides tell me this is what you need to look up, right? So I hadn't looked to see if she had a Facebook. I knew she had a TikTok, but I never went to the TikTok. Well, this friend that I have that going back and forth on, with working the case, basically, because she is helping, said something about a TikTok, and my guys were like, go look at the TikTok. So I did, right? I'm like, what the fuck am I looking for? So I get to this one thing. They're telling me to watch the videos of them together. I'm thinking it's to see their interaction, because I can pick up a lot. I can pick up thoughts. I can pick up patterns. So I click one. It's nothing really that like strikes my fancy here. And the next one I click is her saying how we first met. And thank God TikToks are fast, because my propensity to want to pay attention is not that great. Especially when I'm trying, I feel like time is of the essence. And whether that's true or not. But anyway, all of a sudden the fucking gazebo pops up. And it says, where we first met. And in my head, they're like, first love begins. I'm like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. And then I said, spiritual union. So I go look at the gazebo, right? And then right next door is the cemetery. Spiritual union. That's what I think. Like, that's when you go and you to God. Spiritual union. Or it could be seen as church-like or some sort of church-type event. But anyway. And there were other bits and pieces in between that led me there. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Because the whole feeling this case gives me is I'm smarter than you. There's a fucking plan and I'm slick. Well, mother cluckers, I'm slicker. Like my father used to tell me, there ain't shit you thought of doing that I haven't already done. And I'm not taking credit for anything like this because it's a piece of shit behavior. It's not what I meant. I just meant that's how my brain works. So, I'm always 10 steps ahead though. I think that might be it. I'm not sure. I wonder if on the vigil, there's a vigil Saturday, which is the 23rd, which is another number I picked up. And I'm putting it out there. I don't know. It almost made, when I went to Google Maps and I'm looking at the thing and I'm looking at the gazebo and I'm looking at the cemetery. Oh, my hairs are doing it again. All my hairs kept standing up in waves. And I did it multiple times, and every time, oh, Freya's up. I gotta go. Every time. Good morning to you. Hi. Oh, don't, Nixie Peanut. It is too early, girl. I gotta get this house up. Hi. Good morning. No iPad. Good morning. No iPad.
No iPad.
Do you want to say good morning?
Yes.
Say good morning.
Good morning.
So we're going to get Kylie home, right, Freya?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Kylie, yeah, we're going to get her home. With our family. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to go. But those are my thoughts right now. I'll be working that. Trust me. I smack it, flip it, rub it down. I must drive my guides insane during these cases. Because I'm so exhausted by like 7. It's just, anyway. Check the cemetery. Wait a minute, strike that. Do not desecrate anybody's anything. I don't know how to handle this. I have questions, like logical questions I need answered. If they were to put a person, a body, a murdered body, inside one of those things where the tops move, right? Would the dogs be able to sniff it? Because I think I don't know. I need somebody who has worked with that type of thing, man. I had one from California Search and Rescue, but I don't want to just bother people, especially because they asked me for help. You get what I'm saying? So there's got to be somebody out there whose husband works with the. I need an answer. If will the dog smell a dead body? All right, and then on top of that, if they put manure or some sort of anything in with the body to make it smell less, just in case, will the dog still sniff it? These are questions I have. If anybody has an answer for me, that would be great, because it helps my logic. Because sometimes I'll get stuck on it because I can't make sense of it or translate it properly so that there's a seam in the middle. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, do not desecrate anybody's anything. The police are going to figure it out anyway, but I don't know. I'm just putting it out there and hoping it helps. All right, let's do breakfast and get this house up and get some coffee in me. Have a great day, everybody.